Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the HMS Queen Victoria!
So this isn't really my style of content, but with today's news, I'm pretty excited to see what's coming to Killing Floor 2. Normally Tripwire every now and again will post updates on Steam regarding the content that is coming to the game. It's a great way to show transparency and also keep players interested, and it's also really good to get feedback before it hits, making the experience when it does land much better. So far with the next update, most likely going to be the summer event, we've been given a fairly high amount of info of new stuff that's coming to the game. First off, we're getting a new enemy type, but instead of a one-off rework like the Zeds have been recently, we're actually getting a new enemy type altogether. With the reintroduction of DAR recently, copies of them have been made as a third-party organisations being introduced with a new robot enemy type. Basically, instead of having Zeds, we're most likely going to have games where you'll be fighting against robots. While it isn't the most creative sense of enemy variation, it's still a nice idea to have, and I'm really hoping to go with the Mass Effect multiplayer system, meaning certain games you could have Zeds, but then other games you might have another enemy type altogether. This could mean bosses as well, but we'll have to wait and see for that one. Moving on from here, Tripwire have teased 4 new weapons: a quad-barreled shotgun, or as I like to call it, the quad stick, a shiv for survivalists, the M99 anti-material rifle from Killing Floor 1, and finally what appears to be a Tesla grip for the Berserker, meaning I can finally beat the crap out of some Zeds with my bare hands. I think the shiv as a weapon is the weapon I'm least interested in. It's a nice idea to finally have survivalists have its own type of knife, and this could mean that we might have some DIY weapons in the future, but the other weapons that have been shown off just seem a bit more appealing, especially with the M99 being in Killing Floor 1, and that was a pretty beastly weapon. I'm curious to see how this is going to stack up against the railgun, but still it's nice to have more weapons for each class. Also, speaking about weapons, we are getting a weapon upgrade system, so throughout the game you can use your dosh from the waves to actually upgrade the weapons you currently have. Let's say for example there's a weapon you don't like in a certain perk. For me, let's go with the M14 in Sharpshooter. I like it in the first game, but I don't like it in Killing Floor 2. The scope really puts me off, but I really do like the lever action rifle, so I could instead use some dosh and upgrade that up to I think it's about 5 tiers, meaning it will be stronger in the end game compared to how it was at the start. While we don't know what exactly the upgrades will actually add, it will add the effect of being heavier, so it won't be too overpowered. So you can't have a railgun and then upgrade it 5 times. It might be that you can upgrade it once or twice, but once you hit your limit, that's it. Moving on from weapons, just before I get into the main bit, there is also a perk prestige system being introduced, so that means when you get to 25 you can now reset your perk and get rewarded for it. The rewards so far are a skin for your melee weapon, which is the standard knife. You also get an XP boost for when you try to level up again, so meaning you can reset, but it won't take as long to get back to 25. I don't think it's going to be a problem, honestly. It worked in Payday for 25 prestiges or infamies depending on how you look at it, especially since when you got to the end of the game and got every achievement and all the leveling has been done, like myself, it can get a bit boring, but thankfully this will keep me interested until they add a new perk. Now finally, the reason why I'm making this video in the first place is because today they announced what's coming regarding the maps. We're getting a community map added again, which I think is called Lockdown, and secondly we're getting a map called Airship. It is a steampunk themed map, which is actually a sequel from the Steam Land map in Killing Floor 1, meaning objective mode is finally coming back. I don't mean objective as in hold your ground for like so many minutes like they have already, but I mean actual welding stuff and interacting with things. I've been waiting since early access for this feature to come back into the game. I'm really gutted it never actually came back when they first released the game, but the fact that they're now releasing it it expands what you can do with Killing Floor so much. When they added objective mode back in Killing Floor 1, it was probably one of the best updates ever, not just because the first level was Steamland, which is one of my favourite levels to date, but it also made the modding community explode with all these new ideas, and I've recently been looking into level design for Killing Floor anyway because I want to get back into it, and I did have an idea for an objective based map, but I was going to wait until they added objective mode. While I can't say I would ever finish this project, this has given me more of a drive to actually try it. I can't really say much about the whole content currently because there's not enough to go by. We don't know any stats, we don't know how the map's going to work, and overall I will probably just come back to this in the future like I normally do, but the whole objective mode really just... I was in the middle of doing something, but the moment I saw they were adding it, I just immediately started writing this, so yeah, I will come back to this in the future. I don't really have much to say about Mrs. Foster. It depends how they act with the DLC. I know some people are upset about it, but I don't really care currently. But again, all of this content that's coming out, once it's out, I will stream it and then I will talk about it in the future. But for now, my name is Sir Crackerball, and I'm signing out.